Fine.
Can you reduce your background noise a little?
What noise? Hello?
Yes. Just gonna start in a bit. Just a sec. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Let me share my screen and then we can start right off. Okay, can you see the screen?
Yes.
Okay. Can you reduce your background noise a little?
There's no background noise.
There seems to be some sort of disruption behind you.
The room's quiet, so.
Okay, let's start. Maybe it's the fan, maybe. Okay, you can turn it off, and whenever you have a question, you can just turn it on. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so the topic we are choosing today is logic gates and logic circuits. We'll be studying this, and as everything is based on logic, so
Could we do
to
chapter 2? Because that's the one I don't understand.
chapter 2.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start with chapter 2 then. No issue. It was a bit logical chapter, that's why I chose it, but no issue, we'll do this. We'll start with this. Communication and internet technologies. Okay. Firstly, let's dive into the learning objectives of this chapter that we'll be studying on the way and what we'll be getting out of it. Firstly, they have explained the client-server model of the network computers. Modern day networks are designed based on client and a server. Server is something that serves your request. You can write it down. There are two components. First one is the server. Server is something that serves your request. Like for example, if I am requesting a web server, for example, if I am searching on Google that give me certain products of, let's say, healthcare, then the websites that are being rendered, that are shown to me, that are given by the server. And I am the client that is requesting those resources. So this is a basic architecture that every modern day network is based on. There are multiple other networks, but the most commonly followed architecture is this one. Okay. Next one is we'll study about the applications of client server. And the third thing is what we're, let's write here client. You can simply call it as end user because end user is someone who will be getting the response from the server. This is a two-way communication. Okay.
Okay.
Did you understand it?
Yeah.
Okay. Just stop me whenever you have any question.
Okay.
Okay. The next thing that we'll be studying is www. You have most commonly seen it probably whenever you type in, the most common thing is www.google.com. This triple W represents that it is a worldwide web. All the websites on the network that you search are embedded on this network, World Wide Web. Whenever you want to search for a website, although you do not edit yourself, it is added by default. Even if you edit or not, if you forget to edit, no issue. The browser you are using, Chrome browser or Microsoft Edge, any browser you are using, it automatically places it. And after that, you will tell it what do you need. This was designed to serve all the websites in one place. For example, if to relate this with our real life thing, like if I, for example, I am living in Saudi Arabia in Riyadh, I have a complete Google map. I can go, I have the complete map of Riyadh and I can go to any house and I have the data on that house. But the online thing acts something differently. So what I need to do is a unified system that everybody agrees on, which is www. Okay, understood?
Yeah.
Okay. The next thing is what we'll be studying is hardware communications and communication systems that we use to establish the connection between the hardware. For example, you are currently on your device and I am currently on my device. I have a physical device, laptop, and you might also have a physical device. So we both have devices, which is a hardware. Hardware is something that we can touch. This is a tangible device. So the communication system that we are using is Google Meet, that is being used here for our communication. So what we are doing here is we are communicating on our devices, but the network protocols is a Google Meet. We are my voice is being transferred, my screen is being transferred to you live. How that happens? This is served by www. That is the World Wide Web, and Google Meet is one of the, you can say, part of www. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Let's come over here and discuss it one by one. Let's understand what transmission media is. Transmission media is something that we use to transfer the information from one place to another. Okay. There can be multiple transmission mediums. For example, we are communicating right now on Google Meet. How come that we can communicate and we do not have any wire attached to our devices? You are sitting in Saudi Arabia and I'm sitting over here, but still we are able to communicate. That happens through internet. Internet is a transmission medium. And what exactly happens on the internet? Internet is a collection of cables. Internet is a collection of networks. It is a network of networks. For example, my network provider is Neatel, and your network provider is in Saudi Arabia. I don't know the
A
reputable
net
network.
a network of networks.
Yes, internet is a network of networks.
Okay.
For example, if I create a network and for example, in Pakistan, the reputable network providers are PTCL, Neatel, and Storm Fiber. Let's say these are only the three cases of networks that are currently available in Pakistan. And you are in Saudi Arabia, and let's say there are three cable providers that provide you internet. And these are your network providers. This is not the internet. Whenever you say that my internet is connected, that is not exactly the internet. That is just the network that we are trying to access. All the information is available on the internet. Internet is basically the network of networks. The way we are able to browse online is because we have Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi connects us from our local network to the global network. Internet is a global network. Understood?
Okay.
Okay. The first thing that transmission medium media is cables. Cables can be twisted, coaxial, and fiber optic. Okay. Twisted means that we have two wires wrapped around each other, and one is the positive one and one is the negative one, and they transfer the information from one place to the next. Coaxial cable is a combination of cables. Okay. That, for example, if you have,
Which
uh,
cable?
do you have television at your home?
Yeah.
That cable that is connected to television, that is a cable provider. It has a bunch of thick, it has a steel rod in between, a steel thing mesh, and on the outside there is a, you can say, a mesh of steel. I can show you. Wait a minute. Let me show you the coaxial cable. This is what I am trying to say. This one here. This is the steel or copper thing, and then there is an insulation, and there is a mesh around here. This comes in two variants. One is the copper version, and one is the steel version. This is basically used to provide cables at your home. For example, if you have cable at your home, then this is the one cable that is attached behind your TV. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. The last one is a fiber optic cable. Fiber optic cable is the most commonly used cable because of its speed. It has the highest speed because it uses light. Light has the highest speed, 3 into 10 to power 8 millimeters per second. So the Internet uses fiber optic cables. All the internet that goes around the world, all the internet providers rely on this specific technology. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, let's discuss this table. That is the main thing. There is no need to like go into everything. One thing I'll tell you that there are generally two factors that we are considering. One is the cost of the cable and the other is the connecting devices. This is our communication protocol that we depend on. Another is the bandwidth achievable. For example, if you do the speed test of your internet, that will give you the bandwidth of your internet. It means that you are able to transfer that much amount of data over the internet in the milliseconds. Okay?
Wait, could you repeat this part?
Yeah, I could repeat. Let me show you instead. Let's say this is something I want to test my network speed, how much I can transfer over the internet. I will click on this and it will give me the check for my network. It says 40, it varies. And after some time, it will show me the download speed over here. Let's sum it up and then it will show you. Okay, it has concluded that my network speed is 39.38 MB megabits per second. So it means that I am able to transfer this much amount of data over the internet in 1 second. Understood now? This is the
Yeah.
bandwidth of my network. Okay, these are the factors that we'll be considering, and what these are the three types of cables that we are discussing now. Generally discussing the cost about it, the twisted pair is not very much expensive. It is cheap. Coaxial cable is expensive because it uses metals like copper or silver, which are relatively expensive. So that's why their cost is a bit high. Fiber optic is the most expensive one because in the fiber optic cables, light travels. And if the cable bends from one point, then the light won't be able to travel or transmit the information. So we have the high cost for this because it has the highest maintenance cost. Bandwidth or data rate. Twisted pair doesn't have much bandwidth. Bandwidth means I won't be able to transfer much amount of data, a lot amount of data over the network. For the coaxial cable, I can transfer higher data. Why? Because, for example, it is attached to your television and your television needs live telecast. For example, if someone at your home is watching television and watching some live news, so every second the frame rates need to refresh and new video chunk needs to appear in front of you. So we need to, this coaxial cable supports higher data transmission, bandwidth rate, data rate. Fiber optic has the best because it can transfer vast amount of data in less time. Attenuation at high frequency. Let me first tell you what attenuation is.
Okay.
Let, let me show you. Okay. Attenuation is, for example, if you have a signal, this is my signal, and look how much sinusoidal waves it has. It has a very high and it has a low, and I want to reduce the noise. I only want to send in the relevant information. I don't want to send in the extra chunk of information. So it can be attenuated so that my only focus is the original piece of information that I want to send with no noise. Okay.
What?
Let me explain it to you again. For example, if I'm saying to you hello, okay, and there is a background noise behind me, and you are hearing hello, something like this, okay.
Mhm.
If I use an uh, s- attenuation transmitter, it will reduce the noise behind me, and you will be just able to hear the hello, okay.
Okay.
Understood
If we
now?
reduce it,
Yes, it reduces the noise.
if we increase the attenuation or what?
If we increase the attenuation, the less the noise behind, and only the focus
Yeah.
signal will be sent. Okay.
Okay.
And the other thing you can say is it reduces the wavelength of your signal. It has a higher wavelength right here, right? It
Mm-hmm.
means that noise might be included in this, but here you see the wavelengths gets shorter and shorter and shorter, and it is just congested between these 2 points. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's good. Okay. Fiber optic attenuation, twisted pair is affected, coaxial pair is most affected, fiber optic is least affected because light can travel through anywhere. For example, if you have your curtain, whenever the sun rises, have your curtain in front of the window, even if the curtain is a little bit to the side, the light will be able to come inside because light makes its own way. Okay.
Okay.
Next is interference. Interference is something like you can say there is a noise behind it, or how much can I interfere with the signal? How much can I disturb the signal? Twisted pair is worst effective. For example, if I bring a magnet or a strong electric field near this twisted pair of cable, the signal that I am trying to send, for example, the signal says hello, HELLO, the signal will be affected and it will jumble up my information, and maybe the user on the other end say Laho, something like this, and all my signal messed up. Okay.
Okay.
And coaxial cable is less affected. It is less affected. For you to check, you can take the magnet in front of your TV. If you have a strong magnet, you can take it in front of the TV and r- move it over the screen. You can see that the picture quality changes over the area where you have the magnet. Okay.
Okay.
And last is the fiber optic. Fiber optic is neither affected by electro waves and neither affected by magnetic waves, neither affected by microwaves, because it's light. Light is not disrupted by any kind of sound, any kind of electric signal, any kind of magnetic signal. Light is only affected whenever you block its way.
Wait,
So
what did you mean by worst affected? Like, is that more or less?
worst is the highest degree. It means
Oh,
that it will be the most affected. Okay.
okay.
Okay. Need for repeaters means I need to repeat the signal or not. In twisted pair, I need to repeat the signal because there can be interferences. Coaxial, the same case, but in fiber optic, I don't need to repeat the signal because it will transfer in its own. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Have you understood it? This is the coaxial cable that I wanted to show you. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. The next is this was the wired transmission, which I told you. The next one is wireless. In wireless, we have options of. Here you are only given three, but there are numerous other options. First is the radio waves, microwaves, and infrared waves. These are the wavelengths of these signals. In wireless transmission, we don't have any wire. We just go with, you can say, we transfer the information through the air because the wavelength of these waves are too small, so they can penetrate through the walls, they can penetrate through anything, most of the stuff on the world, on earth. Like if I have a wireless wi-fi, how you are able to connect your wi-fi even if you are in a room and the wi-fi router is outside your room, you're still able to get the signals, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Why? Because the Wi-Fi uses microwaves or radio waves, and those waves can transfer, can penetrate through the walls and provide you connectivity. Okay.
Okay.
This comparison gives you, if for example, I have radio waves, microwaves, and infrared waves, the bandwidth or data rate increases. In radio waves, it is less, microwaves much higher, infrared rays most high. Attenuation mainly due to rain. Whenever there is a rainy day, uh, I don't know whether you or not you experience network disruption. Whenever there is raining, do you experience something that your Wi-Fi is not working or there's a some sort of connectivity issues?
Yeah.
Yes, that's because the signals through the air are not being able to transfer properly. Those signals are disturbed. because there might be thunderstorm might disturb it, or the rain might disturb it, so the connectivity issues can arise due to that. Need for repeaters, we need, for going from left to right, we need to repeat our signals based on, if we have a microwave, then we can rank it in the middle. If I have infrared rays, it is the most high need for repetition. If I have radio waves, I don't need much need for repeating my signal. Okay. Directional focusing ability, I can superimpose my information in one direction. It will just go in one direction. Okay. Penetration through wall. Radio waves has the most, infrared has the most low penetration, microwaves has higher penetration, and radio waves have the most high penetration. Okay.
Okay.
And in case of interference, there is no proper trend which I can show you, because it might vary based on the scenario. Like if I have radio waves, it can be disrupted by electromagnetic signals, and it also depends upon the intensity of the electromagnetic signal. If I have a very strong electromagnetic signal, then my radio waves will be disrupted. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, let's compare. What should we use? Whenever we are using wireless modes of communication like Wi-Fi or internet service providers, these are all controlled by the government. Government provides license, and those institutions are only allowed to sell their services just because the government has given them the license. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a specific frequency. For example, if the Wi-Fi is being transmitted over, let's say, 300 megahertz to 500 megahertz, I cannot exceed this frequency limit. Why? Can you tell me why, if you have any idea about it?
I don't really know.
Okay, you don't know, no issue. Because these frequencies are dangerous for the health. These frequencies uh, can penetrate through our body. And inside the body, if I have a very high frequency, there are certain limits. If I exceed those limits, those frequencies might disrupt the health of the people around. For example, I will tell you one example. The data, like, have you heard about 3G, 4G, or 5G?
Yeah.
Yes, this is the network speed, network bandwidth, network connectivity. So when they were testing the 5G, the latest, now we have also tested 6G, but when they were early in the early phases of 5G, the side effects were too much that the birds that were traveling around the tower of the 5G tower, the birds started to die, because the intensity of the signals was too high that the birds could not endure it. And it can also have other problems. For example, if there is an aeroplane flying above and the frequency is too high, it can disrupt my frequency of airline, and the whole aeroplane might crash because of it. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. The worldwide connection communication is being done through fiber optic cables, which are laid underground on the seabed, and satellite transmission. Most common medium is this one, fiber optic cables, which are laid underground on the seabed. Every country in the world is connected by these cables, underground sea cables. Okay. Saudi Arabia is also connected using it. Pakistan, China, America, every country in the world is connected through it. Okay, and that's why they are able to access each other's network. If I'm able to communicate with you over the Google Meet, it's just because it's just because of this network. Because my network can communicate with your network, and you can hear my information or whatever I'm trying to communicate over the network. Okay.
Okay.
Inter Whenever we have wireless communication is more subjective to the interference, because the frequencies can be disturbed. For example, if I am speaking loudly and another person starts speaking loudly, then you are in front of me. If I am speaking, you can hear me with clarity, right?
Yeah.
But if two or three people start speaking at the same time, will you be able to differentiate what the one person is saying?
No.
That's because interference occurs because all the three voices are being communicated are traveling through the air and then into your ears. That's why the noise is disrupted and there is an interference and you won't be able to hear that. Okay.
Okay.
And in wireless modes of communication, there is no need for repeaters. Means we don't need to repeat our signal because there are certain communication protocols that are deployed over the network which can superimpose our signal and we don't need to have any repetition of any kind. Okay. The next is you know about this mobile phones dominate the internet market. Now this is what interests us. The internet. Internet in one word, what I can call it, it is just a network of networks. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing that they tested was in 1970, which was a wide area network. Wide areas network is like if I have small networks, 8 to 10 networks, and I combine it, and they span a huge area of, for example, a complete city, then it is a wide area network. Understood?
Wait, could you repeat this part?
Okay, I can repeat. Okay, let's put it simply. If I have multiple networks, for example, I have let's say 50 computers. I have connected all of them using cables. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
My office is in building one, and there is a building two, which is across the city, and I need to communicate with them. They also have 50 computers, and my 50 computers and that person's 50 computers will only be able to communicate if there is a network connection. Okay. Between my 50 computers, I can communicate, but with the other person computers, I cannot. So I put a cable across the city which connects my computers to those computers, and now those 50 computers and my 50 computers will be able to communicate. And based on this topology or arrangement, let's say that you have now 50 networks or maybe 100 or 500 buildings over the whole city, then it becomes a wide area network. Now understood?
Yeah.
Okay. When there was a personal computer, the first thing was developed because the scientists needed to communicate through a lot of area. But then there in 1980s there came personal computers, so we needed everyone to connect to the network. So we created local area network. It just spans a small area. For example, local area network is your Wi-Fi. Your Wi-Fi usually goes around 5 meters. After 5 meters, you won't be able to connect to your Wi-Fi, right?
Mm.
The farther you move, the less the strength of the signal, and there is a point after which you won't be able to connect. So that is the local area network. It is a very small network. Next is the metropolitan network. Metropolitan is just like the wide area network and it spans the whole city. Okay.
Okay. So, like in a
Okay.
mall, the network is wide very much.
Uh, I didn't understand you. What did you say?
In a mall, is it like of WAN or LAN?
Still can't hear you properly.
The internet connection in the mall, what is that?
But you are saying mall or man?
Mall.
Internet connection and mall? Can you write down the spell of it in the chat so I can be sure about what you're trying to say?
Like, is it LAN or WAN? Like, so many people are connected to it. So many.
Oh, okay. In your home, it is a local area network. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
In your house, it is a local area network. When you are connecting, for example, the cable that is providing you internet at your home, that cables also provides internet to your neighboring houses too. Let's say there are 50 neighboring houses that the same cable provides internet to. Okay.
Okay.
Then it becomes a wide area network. And uh,
So is it in the mall? It's a wide.
yes, and when it
Okay.
spans a more huge area and it covers an entire city, then it becomes a metropolitan area network. Okay.
Yeah.
And the last thing is the internet service provider. This is what allows you to connect to the internet, which is the network of networks. It provides you Wi-Fi, which allows you to browse over the internet.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Great. And okay. Okay. The next thing is the satellites. These satellites also help us in our communication. The most commonly used form of communication of satellites is global positioning system. If you want to go somewhere and you don't know the location of it, you just turn on Google Maps and put in the location and it guides you through the whole way, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is the global positioning system that is provided by you by the GEO. Okay.
GEO.
Yes, GEO, geostationary Earth orbit. It's basically a huge network of satellites, maybe 1,000, maybe 100, I don't know the exact number. They surround the Earth and they are static in their place. They are on their place. And as you know, the Earth rotates and completes its one cycle in 24 hours around its axis.
Yeah.
So if the satellite that is above me right now, that is on top of my head, after 20 exact 24 hours, it will be on top of my head again. Okay. It means
Okay.
that the Earth is moving, that satellite is not moving. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. This is the geostationary Earth orbit. These satellites have altitude this. This is important. This can come into your exam. They can ask you this question. Then there is medium Earth orbit, means that they are not very high from the Earth and they range about 15,000 kilometers. And then there is a low Earth orbit. These satellites have numerous advantages. For example, medium Earth, low Earth orbit satellites can provide signals to your mobile networks. Or if I want to go on a hike in the mountains, if I want to do climbing, I want to climb Mount Everest, then it is must for me to carry a satellite phone because there is no network over the mountains, right?
Yeah.
But in case of emergency, I need to contact. So through satellite phone, I'll be able to contact the authorities. That signal will right away. For example, if this is around this, where there is www written, this is Earth, and 2.03 is a mountain, and www is the, you can say, the emergency center. My signal from 2.03 will go to the satellite, this satellite over here, and this will bounce back to the Earth and it will go to the www, and the communication will be done and they'll be able to understand that I need some sort of help and there will be help will be on its way. Okay.
Okay.
The next thing is www, which I told you, the World Wide Web. It is a collection of websites, web pages that help us to provide information over the internet. For example, this right here, it is a web page. If I come over here, if I open this, this is a web page. This is also a web page. Everything is a web page. So it is, these web pages are all across the globe. So we call it worldwide, means it is all across the world. So we call it World Wide Web. Understood?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it enough for today or should we keep going further?
It's fine.
Fine till this point or should we proceed further? What do you say?
It's fine.
Okay. Now just a quick recap. Can you explain me what did we study today?
We were learning about the different types of wires and LAN, WAN, and MAN, and like
Okay.
everything about the different wires.
Okay. We studied three types of wires. One is the twisted, one is the coaxial, and one is the fiber optic. Then we studied wireless mode of communication, in which we studied these frequencies. And then we compared the two types of transmission and we discussed everything that can come in our way. And then we studied the internet, how actually internet works. And then we studied about satellites a little bit because this is not much relevant to us. And then we studied the World Wide Web that actually serves and connects us to the web pages across the globe. Understood?
Yeah.
Do you have any questions?
Mm.
Okay, can you provide feedback of how the class went?
Yeah, it's good. I've understood everything.
You understood everything? Okay, great. Hoping to continue with you. Take care. Allah Hafiz.
Yes. So, Allah Hafiz.
Okay, Allah Hafiz.